The demos are still broken. It's kind of funny. The public release doesn't have demos for that reason, so not really a massive concern. This is Sonic 1 Co-op by Undying Star, Malachi, music by Stealthy, Dax, Project FM, and I know Gaiki had some involvement, but I don't remember what. There's also Chili Hog, and I really should have just said Dynamedia. God fucking damn it. This is a developer playthrough, technically, because long story short, the public release is not the most stable. The most obvious indication of that is the intro cinematic slideshow. It's right at the end. Right here. During the ending, during when we were adding the ending, that got screwed up somehow. I blame it on poor naming schemes. Also, the water palette cycling was broken for the longest time. I just recently fixed it like an hour ago. Not in the public release, but not a major issue, unlike that. An issue with the ending that I also fixed, and there was an issue with Labyrinth 3's boss because of how the battle stances work. Which is, I ended up fixing that, mostly, well, kind of on accident. I was just looking through the objects and realized, oh god, that is horrible. It was some poor code from Sonic 2 Co-op back in 2023. You know, before I got involved. I still haven't fully fixed the palette cycles for the other, like, stage palettes. One right here. This one works, so it's not a big deal. Act 3 makes it apparent. Let me show one-player mode while I'm here. I actually ended up fixing this on a whim during the build-up to SHC. I just couldn't really bring myself to do anything else. It's a long story. See, this one's also kind of broken. It should be using like a I don't know, dark teal-ish, I think I'd go with. Yeah, I go with a dark teal for this. The Tails AI was also kinda broken at some point during Sonic 2 co-op as well. Oh, he's just gone. I also ended up fixing that partially. It's a little brain dead though. I think he can't spin dash. Yeah. I think he got neutered. Is that the right word? Probably not. Obviously, the one-player mode isn't the main mode. The signposts crash the game, for example, so it's not even really beatable. And also, co-op is meant to be emphasized, like, here. There's another example in, Labyrinth 3, but you can get past that with debug mode. And that shit is tied directly to the DLEs, so if I didn't, make that a debug mode thing, if you only had one player, it would just be outright impossible, even with debug mode, otherwise. So, yeah. I say all that as if you can even select Sonic and Tails solo, which was... I don't know when that was removed, it just kinda came to be, I guess. The musicians did such a good job. I am kind of annoyed that some of the native ports by DAC sound slightly worse instrumentally than the shitty BGM to SMPS slop, but he did a good job, like, actual, like, coding-wise, obviously. Very hard to not top fucking BGM to SMPS slop. We all took great pride in the, quality, in a way. There was obviously concessions to be made and all that. Fucking Christ, Tails. That's why it really sucks that that fucking intro thing happened. I had 3 hours to do that. But I was so exhausted that I just couldn't bring myself to test any further. And now I'm thinking about where I'm posting this because I had a lore idea previously. It would have been on the main channel instead of Mal's Den. But I don't know, maybe I'll post this on the main channel instead of that. Or rather, leave that later because I really need to do literally anything else. Oh yeah, the explosions never got changed either. I don't know how that happened. Maybe there was some Oh, wait, I think I know how that happened. JD ported Sonic 1's code, but Sonic 1's code also, like, merged the normal explosion and boss explosion in a way that, wasn't exactly compatible with Sonic 2. And yes, this is initially based on Sonic 2. Shock of the century. I know, truly. It looks like Sonic 1 is Sonic 2 at its core, but has Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3 and Knuckles DNA. A bunch of extra code on top of all that. While I'm here, I might as well show Labyrinth. Cool shit, right? This is... I was particularly proud of the water at one point. Because, like, this was some real... It's actually kind of hard with all the minutia around it. How horizontal interrupts work is that basically you fire one, then you can set the next line, but it only updates on the second thing. So if you fire one, and then cue a different thing, the next one is going to use the previous one. So you fire one here, set where that's going to be, fire another one, set where that's going to be, then that one from the first one, this from the second, this one also updates this, and then this tries to make it go away. So the first updates the third, second updates the fourth, third updates the fifth. Instead of, you know, the first updating the second, as it should. But who am I to judge? It makes a scenario like this somewhat needlessly complex, because you still gotta fire here and here, or somewhere that's semi-reasonable. Just update this and this later. Obviously, when both screens are fully submerged, either with one of them being fully underwater or another being fully dry, you can pretty much make it the same as the regular one-player mode, or two-player mode divider. Like, it's like, all you gotta do is fire here, make sure the second fire round, like, here does nothing, and if this one's dry and other is not, or vice versa, just update the colors as such. That is the easy part. Then, you know, there's, like, player water positions, like, in-game. Because, like, over here, the water position is different than where it would be for here, basically. So, like, do you make them both consistent? Who do you prioritize? So on and so forth. There's a lot of smaller details that you never really think about when actually playing a game. Case in point. Pretty much everything that's based on water positions uses the first player's water, because I never set up like a level position based approach. Like based on the X position, use a certain Y position. That would have been a proper approach to this solution, but instead I ended up giving both of them different, like, things, different positions and such. It would have been cool to set that up properly. There's also some slight palette issues with some objects because funky organization. Actually, here's another one. Here's another thing you never think about. Pylon. Pylons are based on the screen position, instead of objects which are based on the camera position. So, how screen position works is that, like with the title cards, it's based on the exact screen position. These match because they're the exact same screen position relative to these two screens. No need for additional data because they're pretty much the exact same. The pylon required an additional flag to add different screen positions for each player camera. Each player screen. So instead of having it like the title cards where has one screen position for both screens, this allows you to have two different screen positions for the same object. It even allows you to mask the object out at some point. So I have a flag with the positions where it eventually masks the rendering for this particular screen, but not the other. I think I might have slightly screwed it up on the right axis. Like it's off by 1 pixel. That was done a while ago though, so I'll not blame myself too much. I was tempted to fix it right now though. Lovely. Another issue that you can actually experience in the public releases is... Oh, so now it works. Oh, okay, there we go. Basically, the convex stick thing from the Sonic games is really fucked. Not even Sonic 3 and Knuckles really fixed it, they just made the Carnival Night one a bit bigger. It doesn't... Tails. It doesn't solve the fundamental issue, basically. You can even do it when just, like... It eventually happens when you're just, like... not rolling and just moving. Like right then, when I was trying to move right. I think it's actually pretty consistent when you're trying to move right. Worst part is, even Sonic 1 has issues with this. It's just not as bad. It might have to do with the speed cap, but I'm not actually... Tails. Not actually 100% on that. It's a fundamental game issue. About all the way back in Sonic 1. Fix that, I need to pretty much rewrite Collision entirely. That's definitely what I'll be doing for Frenzy, because, like... I don't... This project almost killed me, man. Not like literally, but just really exhausted after all this. Thing is, there's still all these issues. Especially with the shared camera. Also, the Yadrins are kinda weird. Let me go to Act 1 real quick. I don't know what happened to the Yadrins. See, they're still here. Maybe I'm checking out of range when not supposed to? With that, I'm definitely checking out of range when I'm not supposed to. What the fuck? Oh no. Is it checking the Y origin, but not the actual Y position? God fucking damn it. See, all these little things, all these little issues that you never think about. And also the signpost. I might as well show you the non-broken ending here. Undying was quite proud of this when he was working on it at like the last few hours. The actual credits were done a while ago, and the water cycling's a new issue, but I could have sworn I already fixed that. I could have sworn. Yeah, I did. I was just using an old ROM. And I forgot to, build it. Yeah. Also, again, the palette cycling is off, but that's an issue I very much intend to solve for the next public release. Oh yeah, that was another programmer, JD Pence. His Sonic 3 hack is probably a lot more stable than this, also AIM and DSK as well. And, yeah. Sound programmers, as I already mentioned. Kinda surprised I wasn't mentioned because of the, Sonic 1 boss thing. Stealthy makes some good shit. Also Kron D, he also does some good stuff. DSK and such. I don't know what Psy did. Or Auto, whatever. Like, I know what Stealthy and Sticknick did. These should be pretty obvious. Giovanni did the dynamic palette transition algorithm, Marky Jester, Sonic Retros is Sonic Retro. SHC is pretty obvious, it's SHC, Sega is pretty obvious, it's Sega. Chili Hog made the ending music. That was a whole, that was a funny situation. This was meant to be a debugging sound test, but you can actually access it in the public release via up, down, 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 up. Was that 3 downs? Up. Yeah. It's the Tails cheat in Sonic 2 that changes the region from Japanese to overseas and vice versa. Basically allowing you to change Tails' name to Miles, because that's the... and the trademark. That's the only other significant change. Now let's listen to the best music of all time. There we go. This... You're gonna hear this song a lot in SHC. I can only wonder why. There's also the versus tracks, which are here, but weren't, like, given their own mode yet. Versus mode was meant to be included, but wasn't. It was meant to be like I think it was meant to be a race format, where you beat the stage first, and there's additional power-ups. Kind of like Sonic 2 Versus, or Sonic 2's Versus mode. Really, they're all the same idea. Competing. In this case, every single stage would have their own versus track, as opposed to the main game where every single act has its own song as well. I'm kind of surprised we never went with a Labyrinth Zone remix of Sonic 1 SMS for Scrap Brain Act 3. But that is rectified in Versus mode with some... probably the best remix of that song of all time. Admittedly, I thought this was an Aquatic Ruin Zone remix. After this, I want to show something interesting with the Labyrinth versus Zone track. Or really just talk about it and show a recreation of what I'm talking about. Also, yes, the hacking spotlight thing wasn't just a joke. It does work on the AtGames Fire core. It even fixes the music somewhat by setting the AtGames Fire core exposed some sound registers, basically, where it would, like, allow you to change the pitch and clock rate of, well, a lot of hardware stuff, really, but the main ones were the FM and PSG. Also, the Z80 clock, you gotta make that somewhat close to the original thing for PCM to sound right. PCM is still pretty quiet, though. It's like damp-ish? I don't really know what's that all about. This is for Spring Yard, by the way. The Aquatic Ruins on 1 was for Marble, of all things. Gonna leave Labyrinth for last. This is Starlight. Also, I do apologize for my, pauses when I was pretty much talking this entire time. It's not even, timidness, I'm just exhausted, really. I don't really know why I'm doing this, actually. This track is comparatively shorter than the rest. I think this song also did the PSG thing. If not, then I'll show it in Scrap Brain too. Oh wait, no, it did, yeah. I had to add a command to allow you to switch between PSG3 and PSG Noise and vice versa. Because SMPS 68K, and by proxy Sonic 2 sound driver, because that's a port of that to the Z80, doesn't allow you to switch between PSG Noise back to PSG3. It only allows you to go one way. I think SMPS Z80 rectified that, the proper SMPS Z80. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Flame Driver, you know. Okay. No beating around the bush. Time for Labyrinth. I love this remix. Speaking of that remix, Basically, there was initially a BGM to SNPS slop version, and that replaced the bongos with the scratch sound because it was bad, I guess. I don't know. VGM to SNPS is really weird sometimes. So this was arranged by Stealthy, programmed by Dax. Take that as you will. Sonic 1 Dusted had to... Sorry, SNPS Dusted had to add the PCM samples, and I decided to just make it use the record scratch instead, because otherwise I'd have to add another bongo. This is Blue Ocean from Sonic 2 Archives. I technically got it from Eggman's Conquest, though, alongside, this one you might be more familiar with, from Conquest. According to documentation, this was supposed to be, for Oil Ocean, of all things. Yeah. It's weird. I remember when Eggman's Conquest released in SHC 2023 or 24. Some of the judges were particularly critical of this song. I like it. Shima, it's Shima, I love Shima. Shima. It's Shima. I love Shima. Shima. It's from Shima. Oh god, this is adding flashbacks. This was from Sonic 2 Co-op's error handler, the Undying Planned. Essentially, he wanted like Sonic here, Tails here, or the other way around, being sad, with a bunch of error codes that are relevant to the actual crash itself being like displayed around, and have this music play with you being able to re-enter what you were doing in theory by pressing start. I ended up introducing the something similar to that to my own error handler, like being able to re-enter the game. Although in my case I make the game act as if it's doing a hard reset instead of what he had planned, which is like going back to like the start of the stage if you crashed in a level. I think I did get that working at the time, but it really fell into disrepair over the years. Also, this is the reason why the palette cycling isn't fully like working. This is for the daytime palette. This is the nighttime palette. There's an object that does the different palettes for the different stages, but it only uses the nighttime cycle palette. Where's it dusk? It's purple, so it might be dusk. How Undying programmed that thing was fucking catastrophic, though. Like, to be fair, he didn't know about the why pose ignore flag until like 2-3 days ago, really, because I never really looked into it. I think he just assumed that you had to not check out of range for it to work. It's development's been interesting. I'll say that much. That's really all I had to say. Oh geez, I was rambling for 40 minutes. Oh boy. Lovely. I'll stop there. Maybe post this on. That shit's meant to be gated. What the fuck? Oh, probably. Jeez. I'll post this on Mal's Den, I think, instead of the main channel. That's primarily VTuber stuff, really, like streamer. Well, mostly just streamer, really. I guess it depends on your definition of VTuber. Oh well. It's yeah, it's been fun, really. Sans the deadline stress. In some ways it's a good motivator, but on the other hand it fucking, as you can tell by my complaining recently in this video, and well really I guess my tone of voice as well, despite generally being quite monotone, I've been, this really took a toll on me. But in the future, it'll probably be on better terms. The on development. Frenzy is going to be fun. I know that much. Though I have to sort out my own life affairs before I really like get into that really. And that's really all I had to say. I'll end it here.